Hey, Sparks. This is it, guys. We're finally facing the man, or Nork himself.
Open the dragon head.
And let us enter Nork's main lair. We shall take him.
Enter the Nork lair.
I just said that.
Sorry.
You know what?
Just epic voice and everything.
Yeah. A nasty finale begins. There he is. Nasty Nork. Things are about to get nasty here. Oh, okay, I'm over it now. What are you doing? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No, I'm good with the epic voice. In a world where dragons are thirsty by a milk, one dragon stands out to stop it.
Look! A thief! And he's stolen a key!
Even a key, I don't feel like lying.
Really? I don't really believe that.
They're very close, but here, I'll just because of that. Okay, come on. We'll begin in a moment.
We just need to get this thief who has stolen a key.
There's only two of these guys to deal with, but it makes like a very structured world, basically. I mean, four structured world. It basically adds to 4 areas instead of 2 areas like you need shop.
Making this possibly the biggest boss map out of the boss maps in not just this game, but the entire trilogy. I mean, look at the map at the bottom left corner of the screen. If that ain't big, I don't know what is. It's like it could have been made into a full level.
Yeah, and I think that animation that I heard you watching earlier between episodes, I think I remember it specifically doing one hit KO on Gnasty just to exaggerate how easy he is to defeat. Well, they're actually not far off from the accuracy, actually. When you actually think about it. He takes like the least amount of hits out of all bosses in the game.
Yeah, he only takes 2.
Yeah. He's so muscular up top, and then he's like down bottom.
Yeah.
He likes.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
crazy.
then next thing you know, he's weaker than he looks. How did this guy get the power again?
I
Did he steal He-Man's power or something? I've never watched He-Man, but I remember hearing about it some stuff here. And He-Man being famous for, I have the power.
the power.
Yeah, that's it. He just says that. And all of a sudden he's He-Man.
Interesting, but anyway, this is essentially a chase sequence between you and Gnasty Nork. And for some reason, you're chasing the Nork instead of him chasing you because he's afraid of Spyro for some reason?
Don't know why. Like it's so cute, very healthy.
And I got him. What was the point of that? So anyway.
That last section with the platforms, actually, when the first time I ever got to Gnasty Nork in the original trilogy, I failed that section, and then I got up the next try. Yeah, the last platform already slid into the wall before I could make it. I was just too slow.
Oh, I made it just in time. Look at that. I got a perfect bite on him, didn't take damage, and I didn't even use the ninja roll. That's pretty crazy.
And I love what Spyro says when he finishes them off.
took so long. Almost forgot about you guys.
What about Gnasty Nork?
Gnasty Nork is toast.
So now there's order again in the Dragon Kingdom?
Well, mostly. I've still got some treasure to find.
What will you do next?
I'd say the sky's the limit.
He played his butt. So yeah, that's the end of Spyro the Reignited Dragon, but we still have 2 games to go, and one of them I'm slightly familiar with. And now we get this...
Actually, there is something else we're missing. There are 4 portals in Gnasty's world. We only went to 3.
Well, yeah. But anyway, looking at these little images, it seems that Spyro is help. Hey, that's the first dragon we ever rescue in the game. Making a
This game, they changed the credit sequence that was actually very much fun with the original trilogy, where you get to fly through all the levels with nothing to distract you, with the nice credits music from Misty Bog level. And this credits kind of style was used on 2 games along with the same soundtrack piece of Misty Bog.
Yeah, I thought this song sounds familiar. And also, apparently Spyro had a rough time with toasting marshmallows and a sausage, and even blamed that guy who said he's a thief and he stole the dragon egg. I swear I'll repeat that line till the day I die.
I do like these little images they made for the credits, but you can actually view them later on after getting all the skill points anyways.
Yeah, spoiler alert! Also, Rockstar Spyro.
Yeah. I dislike it when they make certain things, like certain little concept arts as your reward for things. I dislike how they do that with some games, where you get concept art instead of, like, I don't know, something to benefit in the game later on. Unlike some kind of special surprise in the trilogy, I will not dare spoil, but it is pretty useful, I will say.
Look at Night Spyro, pretending he took out one of the dragons. I'm Spyro, destroyer of evil.
Oh man, that's how people used to play with kids these days, you know? Oh, you got me.
Speaking of which, were these pictures in a photo album of when Spyro was a little kid?
I do not know if this is technically him as a child or it's basically his celebration for his victory. I do not actually know. They never actually explain these little art sequences. They just don't. As far as I know, I haven't beaten the Reignited trilogy yet. I've beaten the original trilogy, but never the Reignited yet. Still gotta get back to that.
And there's Thor with what appears to be some kind of broken clay thing.
Yeah. I still prefer the original trilogy's way of credits, where they just had the text come up, and then it breaks, and none of the text comes up, it breaks, it just goes through the credits that way. Hey, as it flies through many memorable levels in the game. Each game does this. Just flies in ways you could never possibly do. And it's so beautiful. It's majestic. Even with the polygonal graphics back then, it was great. And I was hoping to God we'd get that same deal when it comes to the Reignited trilogy, because then we can just fly through the big, beautiful worlds.
I love how Spyro is making a sculpture of himself with sunglasses, and yet the other guy ended up breaking the arm of a fairy.
Oh my god.
He must have been embarrassed that Spyro can do it better than him.
Yeah. So, the final battle can be pretty short if you actually know what you're doing.
What the heck? Is Spyro painting on the guy while he's sleeping?
Yeah. Oldest trick in the prank book. I don't really do pranks because I'm not good at them. Yeah, you won't find me doing anything on April Fool's Day. I'm just like normal average day with April 1st.
This kind of
coming up on us during the time we record this.
Yep. The funny thing is, this kind of reminds me of the running gag with Jigglypuff in the anime.
Oh yeah, I think you've told me this one before. Jigglypuff doesn't like the fact that she accidentally does a sleep song every time she sings, so everyone falls asleep, so she just likes that and draws funny imagery on everyone's faces. Not to mention, I've seen people do worse than what Jigglypuff draws.
And we're not going to detail in that, we're instead going to look at how Spyro painted a burnt sheep, while the other dragon painted a perfectly furry one. And Spyro reading a big book, while the other one is leading.
You know what? Someone should either make a mod, or one of the developers should just make that an update. Make it so that the text breaks apart and flies and everything, while on the black background is instead the scenery being moved across. And still have those little concept art pics that they show us.
Or maybe they could do something similar to Sonic Heroes, where they still have the black background and rolling credits, but they would replay the cutscenes. You know, the ones in this case where they rescue the dragons. I wonder how that would work for Spyro 2 and 3. I don't know how many cutscenes there are, but anyway, here's Cuckoo Clock Spyro. Imagine that being a thing.
I could imagine actually someone making that a thing. He is technically small enough, I guess, if you make the Cuckoo Clock big enough. So that's not too much bigger, but he would still fit.
And also, there's the dragon deck called Gnasty, Nork, simple, no threat, and ugly. Ugly? That does it!
Ugly, that does it.
And there we have Spyro on drinking what appears to be a smoothie, and is that a smartphone? Smartphones exist in Spyro's universe?
Dragons are pretty wealthy. I think he can afford it.
Sounds like Spyro likes playing Pokemon Go when while he's doing his little collectathon stuff. That's a joke. That's a joke, of course.
I got nothing to counter that, actually. There hasn't been a mobile Spyro game at all. There's been little McDonald's worse than Atari games. There's been some cheap portable console games, but there's never been a mobile game with Spyro. I think they've actually had Spyro in mobile at all. He's just nowhere in sight.
Yeah, although I was kind of joking there, but
I understand. I wanted to make a counter joke, but I got nothing.
It's fine. Also, that's so adorable. Spyro leaping out of the cake like that.
Let's just hope he doesn't do that at the bachelor party.
I'm sure he wouldn't have no interest in that. So anyway, that's all of those little pics of Spyro when he was a kid, or maybe after the events of this game. So as for my opinions on this game,
just to pass the time, at least, since these credits take a while, especially with the Reignited trilogy, they could have still at least given us that cool fact from Spyro, from the original trilogy, to help pass the time. But let's talk about your opinions.
Yeah, starting with when I first booted up the game, like, even before I got the game, I knew I wanted to play this. I've played Skylanders and enjoyed it immensely, but I wanted to play the original game so badly, but I could never afford to do it because I didn't have a PlayStation or any way to record it without needing to rely on cameras. But now with the Reignited trilogy and my trusty Roxio Game Capture HD Pro, it's finally become a reality. Although I may play the original sometimes just to compare. But
you might want to do that just to see how sometimes the awesomeness was changed out for less awesome stuff in this Reignited trilogy.
So anyway, then for the individual worlds, starting with the artisans. This may probably be my favorite world, if only for that one dragon who I constantly reference as a running gag throughout this playthrough. You know the one.
I forget his name, but I know the face.
He's a thief, and he stole the dragon egg. And I'm probably going to carry that running gag over to the other 2 games if there are thieves in there.
Well, thieves won't be carrying eggs in the 2nd game, as far as I know.
Well, either way,
Thieves in the 2nd game.
I'll probably find an excuse to use that running gag. Then for
find it easily usable in Spyro 3.
yeah. So then for Peacekeepers, my favorite dragon in that world was the one who said, ever since you were a wee puff of smoke, we've known, I forget. It's like the dragons at Peacekeepers knew that Spyro was eventually going to take down Gnasty Nork. And he wanted to do it, so 2 birds with 1 stone. I also like how the dragons in that world were meant to, like, fight a war, because sometimes, if you want peace, you gotta be at war. It's a sad fact of the world. Some people deny that, and I have no respect for those people. But, that aside, then for Magic Crafters, as for someone who loves magic so much, as a proud fan of Harry Potter and MLP, yes, I'm one of those guys. I enjoyed this world immensely beyond that one embarrassing moment, and I think it was the level, the one with, I forgot the name, but there was also that cave with those giant metal horrifying spiders that I didn't like, but other than those 2 things, I liked them a lot. Then Beastmakers, I really like how Western the Western motif some of the dragons have. I especially like that one dragon voiced by Darren DePaul, who said squash them and squish them and squash them and stuff, and Spyro said, how about charge them and flame them? That's probably my favorite one. But that one level, Treetops, I absolutely hated that level when I first played it. And while I probably won't find it as big of a deal in future playthroughs, I'll never forget what I went through completing it for the first time.
Neither would I. But then again, I got over it at the same time.
I'm sure I will too, most likely. Then the Dreamweavers, my highlight of that world was those crazy fools who would constantly jump and flail their arms around. And then finally Gnasty's world, which is filled with Norks, which makes sense. I kind of find it crazy how it doesn't seem like the dragons plan to help Spyro, but some of the dragons do actually try to take Gnasty on, but failed. It's pretty...
Yeah, it at least gives us some more dragons to collect, because obviously, what more could you put in once you get to Gnasty's world? You might as well put in some lore, you know?
Yeah. Now for the bosses. For Toasty, I would never think for a second that Toasty was a sheep, an angry one at that. In fact, if the original Spyro commercial from 1988 was anything to go by, I have a theory that sheep was one of the protesters.
Oh yeah,
maybe
right. There was a 1997 commercial or so. No, 1998, sorry. 1998 commercial that was live action with sheep, and they were protesting against the game because, well, it was cruel to them. They actually reference in all 3 games credit sequences at the end, though it was more funny with the first one because there was a bit more text to it.
Yeah, but anyway, next is Dr. Shemp, and if that dragon we freed was anything to go by, he's very narcissistic. Like that a certain Baldy McNose hair with the military jacket we know.
Oh, I think I now know who you mean by that.
Yep. Then, Blowhard, the first boss level teased in the first game, I think. I don't remember, I'll have to rewatch it. But, honestly, I love the wind theme, and there's actually a trophy you can get by riding on a druid platform moved by one of the druids for a certain amount of time. And I find that cool. Then Metalhead has probably my favorite gimmick, where you have to wait before you can attack those little generators that give him the strength. And Jox is just crazy, man. Gift boxes or jack-in-the-boxes as weapons, and constantly bouncing around and laughing like crazy. Like, dude, is this guy on crack? Oh, okay. That got a bit weird back there. Well,
He does look like he's a little bit loopy. Oh, we should send him to Arkham Asylum. He's like the Joker. Go Batman!
Okay. Okay.
Wait, I should actually try another Batman voice. There's several Batman. No, Armando was Batman.
Yeah, so I'd like to apologize for that one joke I made about Jox.
It's fine.
Maybe been a little inappropriate, but then
I have the natural Batman voice.
cool. Then
then there's George Clooney. Don't leave home without the Bat card. The Bat credit card. Who has that? A Batman credit card. Who has that?
I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure Batman would not use that because he's Batman. He shouldn't need that, especially when he'd only be shopping with his secret identity. Carrying a Bat card, Bat credit card would just be stupid, really. It'd give away his identity.
and yet somehow no one catches guard on that. But anyway, as for the final boss, Gnasty Nork, I was very tempted to deliberately misspell his name again, because if you remember the very first episode's name, I misspelled it. And I wanted to do it.
Corrected it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and I kind of find it crazy how you chase him around and stuff like that, but in the first segment, but anyway. By the way, just wanted to clarify something. No sheep were harmed during the making of this game. A few Norks, but no sheep.
Yeah, they cut out those last two sentences so when it comes to other games, because there's no Norks.
And hey, a picture for the creative production crew of the Spyro Reignited trilogy with some dogs in the front.
Yep. And that is a big team compared to what we had with the original trilogy. There was a small team originally when it came to the original trilogy. That was Insomniac Games back then. This here is Voice for Bob.
And they did a great job of catching the magic of the originals. I can't wait.
As closely as I can. They obviously changed a few things. Some changes were for the better. Some changes, let's just say you'll be disappointed with some of those changes.
Well, beyond that, there's the final dragon, Magnus.
Gnasty's ancient history now. So, what's in there?
I believe this is Gnasty's treasure hoard. But the gate will only open if you have found everything in the Dragon Kingdom. Come back when you have reached 100%.
Interesting fourth wall break there. He said 100%. And now that I mention it, did I 100% miss? Oh no, I'm missing 2 gems.
Yeah, you gotta clear out the gems before you finish the level. Otherwise, once you hit the Gnasty second time around, that's basically when the level ends and needs to cutscene.
And I thought I collected everything, but oh, I have. So, What I'm gonna
I
do...
also forgot to mention, where Gnasty stood at the beginning of the boss fight, that's where he stands in the opening cutscene when you watch it in the original trilogy. They changed this to the bonus area, though, when it came to the Reignited trilogy. Probably for the cartoon context from the second and third games.
Hi,
To
Spyro.
make it kind of match up.
True.
Honestly, it makes a lot more sense than him just standing there for hours and
Gnasty's
waiting
ancient
for you to
history
come to the
now.
battle arena where
So,
he stands
what's in
since
there?
the beginning of
I
the game.
believe this is Gnasty's
Just
treasure
having him sit
hoard.
on his couch or
The
something
gate will
made more
only
sense,
open
'cause then
if
he
you
has
have
a
found
relaxed
everything
floor,
in the
you know?
Dragon Kingdom.
Mhm.
Come back when you have reached
Everyone's gotta relax
100%.
at some point, you can't stand for hours.
Also, it's kind of disappointing that Magnus doesn't have any alternate dialogue when you do achieve 100% and unlock Gnasty's loot. So there is 14,000 treasure.
Yeah.
So,
Did
yeah.
at the beginning of the game, we have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
Ah, I remember that. And it looks like I have 10 skill points to collect, not counting the ones that I already got. So,
you collected most of the skill points?
well, I didn't count how many ones that I got, but in the next episode, we'll be essentially doing a heist on Gnasty's loot, so thank you guys for watching, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
See y'all then. Good day.